We got the number 8 Memphis Grizzlies versus the number 1 Utah Jazz. The last of the four games of Sunday night. This series premieres 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you're in the states on ESPN. Like I said, this is the last game out of the four. Technically, the last game to be played as far as the initial first round of games and all eight matchups. So yeah, let's get into this. Not to delay for Memphis. This is a huge just to make the playoffs. To overcome the play-in tournament, the expectations there. I mean, they just finished off the Golden State Warriors, and I'm making this video right after basically an hour or two after watching that game, and that was amazing what happened there. I have some things I want to talk about when it comes to the Golden State Warriors, but that's not what this video is about. So I'll skip over that part. But yeah, just for the Memphis standpoint, what they were able to do to step up on a big stage. I mean, last season in the bubble, they had an opportunity to make the play in or the playoffs there. They made the play in, and when they had right before they had started the play in tournament last season, they were actually like in eighth place when they returned to the bubble to resume the NBA regular season of the 2019-2020 regular season. And it was a bummer that they didn't make it. I mean, I think Portland was definitely deserving of making that. You can also say Phoenix had a chance to make that too. They would have been deserving as that. But this is just a big step up in my opinion. Not to dwell too much on Memphis alone, but this is Jaw's first opportunity in the playoffs here, and it's interesting to see that he's making it over Zion, who once again is left out of the playoffs. But for Ja himself, experience comes with time, as we all know that. So this is just definitely a step in the right direction with him and his team here with Utah against Utah. So yeah, like I said, this is just a great future. I'm just trying to look over my notes here. What do we want to see from Donovan in this series is I want to see him go for 50. There should be at least one game in this series where he should be able to drop 50 points. I mean, I know he's recovering or returning from his injury that he had, a minor injury, but with him returning for this game in particular on Sunday, we'll see how he performs. There might be a minutes cap there. They might not play him more than maybe 28 minutes, just depending on how the game goes. It might be a little bit less, in my opinion, but I mean, it is playoff basketball, so you have to expect the best from your opponent every time you step on the floor. That's how it should be perceived. But yeah, for Donovan Mitchell, I would say he'd definitely play under 30 minutes, but he'll gradually increase over time. So hopefully, definitely by game three, he might be up to 30 minutes. And then game four, we'll see his regular load of minutes if all goes well as far as health concerns. But the Utah Jazz as a whole, even without Donovan Mitchell, they stayed at the number one spot for basically a majority of the season, if almost all of the season. So this should be a pretty interesting matchup for them, but it should be a matchup where, they don't look too much into, let's just get past this and worry about the second round. You do have to take care of your opponent that you have in front of you. So, but yeah, this is definitely a great beginning team, I guess, to play to get yourself going again as far as getting into the game rhythm and then the playoff atmosphere. This is a inexperienced team if you're considering them playing the Memphis Grizzlies here, and they should just definitely take care of business. So let's go straight to the X factors here. Um, I have had written down in it as an X factor after watching that game. Jaws, what is it? The left? No, it's the right wing actually. The right wing three that the Golden State Warriors let him shoot over and over again in this play-in tournament game. They did that in the end of the regular season game on Sunday, and then they allowed him to do that again. And he was hitting them at a pretty high clip. I can't remember his percentage. I think it was at least 50% from 3-point range. But if he's knocking that down, then Utah definitely has to do some adjustments. I'm sure they'll scout and watch some tape and figure out what they need to do to stop that. But I mean, yeah, Golden State definitely took the risk there, and Josh stepped up there. But he still has a slight hesitation at times where he has to dribble a little bit to get his rhythm for that 3-point shot instead of just catch it and shoot. But yeah, I'll look for his game to develop, and he needs to obviously take what's given there. What's there to lose as far as this being your first time in the playoffs. So definitely build your confidence on that stage, especially when you go on the road to face the Utah Jazz in the first two rounds. Also, for an X factor for the Memphis Grizzlies would be Jaren Jackson, in my opinion. Jaren Jackson needs to definitely, keep shooting the 3 point. I know he's still kind of working on getting acclimated back into the game, but he's had a couple good games since he came back about 2 weeks ago, I think. And I think I should see more of that, of him taking those threes, because he could definitely knock them down. I want to see more of his defense because they're definitely going to need that. Hopefully, he doesn't get into foul trouble like he did with the Golden State Warriors. But Rudy Gobert is a beast down there, so definitely need to step up there and help balance the load as far as working on their big men between him and Valanciunas. And Tillman might be an X factor because he was definitely an X factor in that play-in game against Golden State. So let's see those few guys there definitely step up and get that experience under the belt and see what they can do against a tough opponent here with the Utah Jazz. As far as the Jazz I'm concerned with the Jazz, it's just basically self motivation, in my opinion. Just play with a chip on your shoulder. Don't look down on the opponent as far as looking at them like, well, they're an HC, they shouldn't have been here. We should have had a tougher opponent in the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry, who was playing like an MVP. But yeah, just don't have that mindset. Just take every game for what it is and realize that the goal is a bigger picture past the first round, but you still have to take care of the opponent that's in front of you, like I said earlier. So you got to get the job done, and you got to play with the chip on your shoulder. That way you can advance as soon as possible. Like if this looks like a team that you can wipe out easily, then you need to do that. You don't need to waste time. You don't need to uh, prolong the series to your disadvantage to where you don't get as much rest as you could have or should have for the next round. If that's your mindset, you definitely need to change it. You need to go forward and just take care of business and get it over with. So big shout out to the Utah Jazz fans. Trying to think, I don't think I know any Memphis Grizzlies fans. If you're a Memphis Grizzlies fan and I know you, leave in the comments, or even if I don't know you, I'll shout you out when I can. But as far as Utah Jazz fans, shout out to our boy DeJondis, the All Star. I know you are obviously a Utah Jazz fan because you liked our video, and that's how you found our channel. Was just it randomly popped up for the Donovan Mitchell PPF. So yeah, shout out to him and all the Utah Grizzlies, sorry, all the Utah Jazz fans, and then like I said, any Memphis Grizzly fans out there. Congratulations on making the playoffs. But for me, one of the other things I wanted to touch on with Memphis, I don't like the coaching at this point. After watching the last play-in game, I felt like he could have challenged one of the calls there. He held on to like two timeouts late into, I think, regulation or something like that when I was watching. I just don't feel like he's going to make the right decision sometimes when it comes to an opportunity or the cost of an opportunity, what it might cost down the road if you were to do this or didn't do that. And that's what kind of worries me there. I mean, obviously Utah doesn't have anything to worry about with Quinn Snyder, so I trust him over the coach. I don't even know his name. I can't think of his name for the Memphis Grizzlies. So with that being said, my prediction for this round of the first round of playoffs with this series is that the Utah Jazz is going to take this series in 4 games, clean sweep. That's all said and done. I have nothing else to say. So yeah, thank you for watching this video or listening. If you're listening to our podcast on Spotify, Anchor.fm, or wherever our podcasts are, we greatly appreciate that. And definitely, if you're listening, you can check out our YouTube videos on YouTube. But yeah, thanks for tuning into this series of playoff rounds. Sorry, and we hope to continue to do this for the next round, and obviously the conference finals, and then the finals themselves. So thanks again. Once again, this has been Kicking in the Second Half. KISH YZ. Peace and love.